he was trying to find a solution for those people who were really engaged in the finding a job in the market. Means finding solutions for them by contacting with the consultancy services and the people engaged in HR activities of the higher industries.
So that's not what I would call a simple short sentence.
I think it was the positioning. They were mainly catering to the consultant before. The end user did not even like that they offered them.
Anyone else?
Connect job seekers.
They were aggregating jobs, basically one single portal where all the jobs are present, so you didn't have to look here and there.
Maybe it's bridging the gap between the companies and those who are looking for jobs.
Sure. Very simply, as one of you put it, connecting the job seekers with people, with employers, right? Now, again, this is what Naukri did. The problem that job seekers had was that there was not one platform on which you can see a number of jobs, and similarly, the problem that employers had was that there wasn't one platform where you could see a lot of people who are interested in that particular job. Now let's think about how widespread is that problem. It is this connection to an employer or connection to a set of job seekers is something that every employer or every job seeker wants. Correct? Everyone wants more options on both sides. So we can also then conclude that the problem is very widespread. So this is the exercise I would encourage all of you, those who are entrepreneurs or those who want to be entrepreneurs, to do before you embark on your journey. Articulate very clearly and crisply what is the problem you are trying to solve, and then try and determine how many people or how many customers face that problem. We'll come to some of the other criteria later. But if I were to say one thing that we look for in addition to the team, is a simple articulation of the problem and an understanding of how widespread the problem is.
Great. So I would again, I think most investors you talk to would, I think those are two great points. I think the team and the market. So I think those are the two primary things any investor would look at first and foremost, in their 30-second look at your business, and then they'll go deeper into a lot of other areas. Let me just jump a little bit, maybe into team, what we look for, or what investors look for, and what you could be doing to position yourselves well there. So on team, I would say if I were to break it down, three areas that I would typically look for, would be passion, vision, and execution. So on passion, that one is obvious. So it just reflects when you talk to an entrepreneur, you can actually tell, is this person passionate, really passionate about this space, or are they doing this for some other reason, or they just want to be an entrepreneur, or they just had some free time, or what have you, right? So that is one. I think that, and it also, I think, combines with maybe my second point, which is strategy and just general understanding of the space. So I think that will also reflect in your passion, is how deeply do you understand that space and the problems of the consumers that you're trying to solve, and the associated ecosystem of the market. So I think at a really early stage, I would recommend just, and I'm sure a lot of you are doing that, is just going extremely deep and wide within your sub-segment and really understanding what's going on in that space and how you can do things better and how you can disrupt whoever is out there, how you plan to monetize. So all that reflects in your, I think, what I would say passion. And then strategy, I think, is more about, there would be questions about, so the investor is really looking at it as a financial investment first and foremost, irrespective of what your at the moment discussion is, but eventually it's a financial investment for them. They want to see how they will be better off financially with that investment in 3, 5, 7 years. That's typical time. Those are typical time frames usually. So you have to be able to articulate in their language what's your strategy. How do you get to such a size which will enable a return for them over that time frame? So So strategy, and then I think third is execution, and that's one where you're at a really early stage where you're just starting off. There may not be a lot of track record, but you could have a few small, snippets, or maybe you've done a product prototype, maybe you've done very small customer trials. So there could be small things which might take you a few weeks or a few months. But if you have a few of those very specific examples of how you've done execution, perhaps a little differently or better than anyone out there is doing, I think that goes a long way in convincing an investor that this is a team to bet on. So that's just some color on the, specifically breaking down the team piece. And actually, let me add one more thing there. One more thing would be, I think, one thing that does influence anyone that you're talking to and the investors is what you've done in the past. And you obviously all, or a lot of you are from this institute, and all of you are from great educational backgrounds. A lot of you may not have work experience right now, but I think, so you should think about how you will make up for that through the other three areas by your passion, execution, and vision, and show how you in spite of, or and sometimes it's actually an advantage. So obviously we know all the stories of all the really big disruptors like Google, Facebook, Yahoo in the past, and several others came out of universities. And so there's that advantage, but there's also the flip side that people look at is that you haven't worked before. So think about how, or at least for a stretch period of time. So think about how you can offset that through by demonstrated ability in the other areas.